You are listening to the Decluttering Club podcast, episode number 22. Stop organizing. You are listening to the Decluttering Club podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Mueller, and it's my mission to equip women to declutter their homes, their time, and their lives so that they can cherish what truly matters. Oh my gosh, people, you guys are killing me. We have just wrapped up a challenge and we had so many people in there and it was phenomenal. I got to tell you, we had the best time. It was amazing. And then we have all these people joining the membership and people are getting things done. And it is a beautiful thing. And people were hiding dumpsters and stuff was going out the door and it was so cool. But I kept seeing this theme over and over again with some of you, not everybody, but a lot of you kept saying, I just need to get organized, or, I don't have room to work. And so then I noticed there's this theme. And so I figured we need to talk about it. Okay. And it is this. So many people come to me and they tell me, I want to declutter. I have too much stuff. Storage is a problem. And I just need to get organized. I cannot declutter until I get organized. And that's where I want to say, stop, hold the phone, hang on a second, right? If you want to declutter, you do not have to get organized. You do not need to organize as you are decluttering. You do not need to organize before you declutter. None of that has to happen. And in fact, it may be super important that you do not organize before you declutter. So I want to dig into that and talk about how that works, what that can look like, and when you would want to spend some time organizing. Okay. Some of you all think that organizing is decluttering, but this is not the case. Organizing means to put things in order. Okay. So you're putting things in order. Decluttering means to let things go. Okay, so those are very, very different. If we are letting things go, we may do a little organizing as we are letting things go, but we are not spending time in our homes organizing our spaces. The chief objective of decluttering is to get things out of the house any way you need to. You've heard me say this. I must say it again. I don't care how that stuff leaves your house. I don't care where it goes. I want you to decide, but it doesn't matter. And the most important thing is that it is no longer in your space. Okay? Hear me when I say that. It doesn't matter. Right? And what that means is we can let things go willy-nilly and we can just really focus on making space and letting things go out of our homes. Okay? So organizing is not decluttering, but decluttering is organizing. It's pretty cool when you think about it like this. All right. So as you are decluttering, you're making space, right? You're basically organizing the space that is left by default, right? And you can get into that, but even if you're not really focused on it, I promise you that you are creating order when you let things go, right? And so that's pretty good news because that helps us to feel more organized. And being organized is really like a state of mind, okay? This is the cool thing. I could look at your space and say, I think you're organized, and you may or may not agree with me, right? There's no way for us to all agree 100% that you are organized or that your space is organized or not. Being organized is actually a feeling that we create with our thoughts, with our minds. And so this allows us to have so much flexibility around how we get there. Okay. So why do I want you to declutter first? And why do I want you to stop organizing? Like literally, I want you to stop. I want you to let that one go. I want you to tell yourself that is for later. Okay. Why? First of all, if you are pinched for space, if there's not a lot of space to work, to move, to breathe, to put things away, okay, if space is at a premium in your home, then we want to make space. And when we declutter, we free up space. That is the first reason. The second reason is when you are organizing first, So let's say you think, okay, yes, I want to declutter these clothes. I want to declutter the clothes, but first I'm going to organize them. And I'm going to put them into piles, and there's going to be like 14 piles, and these clothes are going to go to my neighbor, and these clothes are going to go to consignment, and these ones are, like all of a sudden we have 49 piles, and then we feel overwhelmed. Shocker. Okay. So instead of doing that, I just want you to let those things go, because when you decide that you want to organize first, you're creating so much extra work for yourself. Right? And you may not even be deciding what's going to go out the door. You're just organizing. You're just moving things around. It's like a shuffle. And when we shuffle things, we're not actually making any progress. It's like running in place. Don't do that. Don't run in place. You're not doing yourself any favors. Okay, so get the stuff out the door that you don't want, that doesn't belong, that you don't want to keep. And then you can organize what's left. You're going to save yourself so much time. So much time. Next, this is a tough one here. When we spend time organizing, we are actually distracting ourselves from the real work. So if you have an issue with space, again, if you're telling me I don't have room to put things away, I can't decide where to put things, all my surfaces are covered, you are distracting yourself from the real work. If you're spending time just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, you're not dealing with the real issue. And the real issue is you need to decide what you're going to let go of, right? That is the real issue. And that could be hard. That could be challenging. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe that's really, really, that is causing you some stress. So instead of dealing with that, ripping the Band-Aid off, making some space, you instead just want to rearrange the deck chairs. You just want to get organized. You think, if I can just be a little bit more organized, I can fit things in more nicely. It's a little bit like Tetris. Yeah, it does work. We can organize better, but why? Why are you doing that? Do you really want to keep all those things? Have you taken a look? Are you sure? And if you're like, yes, I am, I just want to get more efficient, I want to pack things in more tightly, then okay, no problem. But if you're like, I really do need to let things go, I really do want to let things go, because we don't need to do anything. But if you want to let things go, then let's focus on learning how to do that. Let's focus in on that, because that is the real issue. When we solve that issue, then guess what? It's not so hard to get organized with what's left. Let's say you let go of 50% of the things in a space. 50%. Can you imagine how much easier it's going to be to put away what's left? It's going to be infinitely easier, right? It's not just going to be 50% easier. It's going to be probably 100 times easier to put things away. So why not make our lives easy? Why not make things easier? Again, it requires that we deal with the challenge of letting go. And that is the hard part, my friends. That is the hard part. Am I willing to part with this? Am I willing to let this go? But we want to get right to the heart of it. Like, let's not procrastinate. We've all done too much of that. Let's get to the crux of the matter as soon as possible, because then we can let go, and life gets easier, and our spaces start to look better and better and better. All right, another reason I want you to declutter first before you start organizing. A lot of times we think we're supposed to. We think we're supposed to get organized. We think we're supposed to sort things out into nice, neat little boxes and bins so that, whoever takes these things has an easier time of it. Well, okay, we can, but really we don't have to, okay? You may have a method of donating or selling or whatever it is, and if it's causing you a lot of work, if it takes up a lot of time, if you are thinking, I really don't want to do this, this is hard, then I encourage you to see, how can we make this easier? What does that look like? Maybe it looks like putting everything in one box instead of separating it. Maybe it means that you do not, we had one person, I think she was doing some deep cleaning of the items that she was donating, right? And, you can do that, but you don't have to, right? And so I want you to question, what are the rules that you are abiding by when you are decluttering? And do you want to keep those rules, or do you want to change them? Things do not have to be neatly organized and arranged before you start letting things go. You can literally just take stuff out the door and send it on its way. And you'll save so much time. You'll save so much mental energy, and you can get on with it. Right? And this is a really big deal. This is not just a little nice to have. Again, I really feel like too many people are focused on the wrong thing. They're looking in the wrong direction. They're trying to get over there, but they're looking backwards. And then they wonder why it's hard. Well, this is one reason. And we can make that easier by shifting what we're doing and what we're focused on. All right, so this is my encouragement to you today. Again, super short today. I want you to stop organizing. I want you to start decluttering. And then when you've made some space, when you've made some room, when you've let some things go, now you can focus in on organizing what is left. If you want help with this, if you need some help, make sure that you get into one of our programs. We have so much help available for you there, both on the decluttering front and then also on the organizing front when it's time. Right? We have all that ready for you, and we'd love to give you a hand and help you out. That's what I have for you today. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next time. That's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this podcast, would you leave us a review? It would really help us get the word out. To start your decluttering journey, go to thedeclutteringclub.com. That is declutteringclub.com. I'll see you next time.